Reddit. What happened to the smartest kid in your class after high school? My oldest brother's valedictorian was the kind of guy everybody thought would be a big shot. Graduated a year early and knew tons of stuff about everything academically, but a bit socially awkward. I met him again several years ago through a mutual friend. He has a master's degree in English, is unemployed, and lives in his mom's trailer. I think he's a perfect example of someone who was too smart for his own good. She's one of my best friends. She's hilarious and quick-witted and graduated college early. She loves her friends and we love her. She's working on becoming a chemistry teacher because she loves chemistry and wants to instill that love in kids in our hometown. She's honestly one of the greatest people I know. In high school, the smart kids were those who were naturally good at math and science, always made big achievements, and got accepted into every big university with major scholarships. Many of them let it get to their head that they were better than everyone, but some of them were really cool. Once I got to college, however, I realized a lot of that stuff was more so for the school and not the students themselves. In college, it's more so about networking. That kid who goes to class each day, applies the effort, and gets on everyone's good side, that is the smart guy. One of my friends I grew up with is the smartest. Has made apps before and is really smart tech-wise, got accepted into and will be attending Harvard next year. He's a pretty chill and regular person. Nothing odd about him. From what I've heard, the valedictorian, or will be in a year when we graduate at my university, doesn't stay in his room studying all the time. Apparently, he goes out from Thursday, Saturday and gets all out drunk and still has time to participate in a lot of social events throughout the week. I'm convinced that either this kid is great at finding the easy classes or is legitimately a genius. It was back in primary school, so this smartest kid was a girl, and she used to make fun of my look and my family. Her mother took it to further and even mocked my mom at year-end show in first grade. Turns out she moved to Germany living alone, no friends, and seeking attention on Instagram last I checked on her. I don't feel any hatred against her, but where she is right now just didn't surprise me. Holy crap, I just looked him up. He used to be a huge loner in high school, but now he has thousands of people following him on one of his social media pages, hundreds of likes on every post. Looks like he became a huge activist and is working in politics. It's kind of funny, I always knew he'd go into politics, but damn, he's already done everything I wanted to do and more. I'm them and currently still in class, so they got depressed, it seemed. They're trawling Reddit for a crumb of serotonin before going to sleep. They are working 2 jobs, one as a technical consultant for a huge infrastructure project for a state-of-the-art film studio being built as part of a new tertiary education facility, and the other job is doing data analysis on vaccine safety for the cough vaccine rollout. The smartest kid at my high school was a grade A asshole. He bullied me during my first year of high school and was the teacher's pet, so no one did anything. He was valedictorian and was number 1 in our class. After high school, he went to a prestigious school in Texas. I did not hear much about him until last year when I found out he dropped out of college because the classes were too much for him and started selling drugs. Can't say I feel bad for him. The valedictorian, whose school admin parents pushed her hard and got all the scholarships, was groomed for international leadership and met business people, the president and other important people, MCs for her daughter's tightrope act. She is literally a clown for a circus. He died of cough after attending Oxford and completing his degree. I always looked up to him because he was smart, funny, and flamboyant. Pretty much everything I wanted to be. Ironically, I used to be jealous of how far ahead he was compared to me, coming from a poorer background and not the most prestigious university. Made me appreciate everything I have. I don't know if he is the smartest, but in my mind, he was or is. He went on to go to school to be an accountant, but he now manages a hardware store. Has a wife and bought a house some years ago and seems to be doing fairly okay. He chats me up once in a blue moon when his wife is away. LOL. He has a PhD, he's well-published, and is a lead chemist for one of the largest agricultural companies. He is also my brother. Harvard pre-med, then went to Hollywood and bummed around trying to be a screenwriter, then tore through med school and is some sort of specialist. I am jobless and still looking for work years after barely graduating college, while also constantly learning more on my own in order to feel more qualified for jobs. Also socially isolated because I'm embarrassed that I'm not living like an adult at my age and don't want to talk about how much of a failure I am when people inevitably ask me, So how's life? Graduating as valedictorian in high school really meant jack to me. I was afraid of what it meant to step out of high school and try to work on becoming an adult. Didn't get to do what I wanted after graduating high school, so basically slogged my way to where I am now. My parents didn't let me make any important life decisions. Things like what major I took and what college I went to, or if I even went to college, and I was never great at adapting extremely quickly to a new schedule class, so college was a nightmare. Plus, I was extremely worried about meeting expectations that were set for me. I was constantly told, you could be doing better, which I get is supposed to be an encouragement. But to me, it just felt like I was never enough, which stressed me out to the point where I made it my goal to lower people's expectations of me, which ended with me sabotaging myself. Anyways, in a better place mentally, but struggling to get a job in a field I've worked so hard to get into. I lost track of the guy I'd consider the naturally smartest. Our valedictorian is pretty high up in technical management at a big tech company. So, there was this really smart kid in my high school who I'll call A. A was always at the top of the class, aced every test, and had a really promising future. But as the years went on, something changed. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but A started getting into narcotics. It started with just the ZA, but then it progressed to harder stuff. I think A was really stressed out and felt like they had to maintain their perfect grades and reputation. It all came to a head during our senior year. A got caught with narcotics on campus and was expelled. Their college plans were ruined, and they lost all of their scholarships. A was devastated and ended up dropping out of school entirely. It's really sad to see someone with so much potential throw it all away like that. I hope A is doing better now, but I haven't heard anything about them in a while. There was this really smart kid in my high school who had a reputation for being a total brainiac. They were always at the top of the class and had a bright future ahead of them. But things took a turn for the worse. One day, this kid decided to start experimenting with narcotics. At first, it was just some party stuff, but eventually, they started trying harder substances like coke and opioids. They thought they could handle it, but they quickly became addicted and started missing school and falling behind on their work. Their grades started to slip, and eventually they dropped out of high school altogether. It was really sad to see someone with so much potential throw it all away like that. I don't know what happened to them after that, but I hope they were able to get the help they needed to turn their life around. There was a student in my high school who was known for being a total genius. They excelled in every subject and always seemed to have the answer to every question. After graduating, the student pursued their passion and studied computer science in college. They worked hard and eventually landed their dream job at a top tech company. Thanks to their incredible intellect and determination, they quickly rose through the ranks and became a highly respected leader in their field. Looking back, it's clear that the students' success was no accident. They put in the time and effort to hone their skills and pursue their dreams, and it paid off in a big way. It's inspiring to see what can happen when someone combines their natural talent with hard work and dedication.